I'm Jennica.
I'm Annica.
Welcome to
Gilmore Girls.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of Gilmore Girls. We've got a lot of catching up today.
We have so much catching up to do.
And we've got a really fun theme for today's episode.
Yep.
We've decided that episodes are going to be loosely themed.
Very loosely.
Very
because
loosely themed.
We will go on tangents no matter what. Like,
Right,
as hard as
right.
we try, it just will
But
happen.
we want to stay on focus as much
as
possible. Right.
Right.
Okay, so take it away.
Okay, we probably have different things that we're excited to talk about with this Titans game, and I think you know mine, and you're not very excited about mine.
Go ahead.
But I think it's really, 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 really funny that you moved to Nashville at an age where you were still bar hopping a little bit. You were still hitting the town a little bit. You were still getting invited to Titan Suites when you had the chance. Along the way, you might have found a few connections that you explored, and now that is coming full circle back around. So why don't you explain a little bit of your little full circle?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't? Okay, let me explain the full circle. Mom had a little fling with
I wouldn't even call it a fling.
I would consider, if I know his name is a fling. I feel like
no,
that's...
it was just funny. And I don't know how much of this you remember. When we moved
Not
here,
much.
let's just remember that I was, what did we just say, 24? That's crazy.
So
I was like 24 to 26, and I was
living in Nashville.
She was gone every other weekend, and I was a 24-year-old every other weekend. And so, I did. I mean, some of my friends, this is how it happened, okay? This is how it happened. One of our good friends was in, like, the Titans rookie class one year, and so we knew him, and that led us to knowing other players, which led some of my friends to knowing other players better than other ones. And I got to know a couple along the way as well. With that said, we walk on to the Titans. We were invited by the NFL this week to be
let's just say that.
Well, we got a DM from the Titans that said, hey, we need to get you on the call with the NFL today.
It was just really crazy, and within 2 hours of us being mentioned once, we were on a call with them.
Yeah.
And the call was basically like, hey, we're doing this. This is what time
Yeah, it was very last minute, but it was very, like, it was such a cool, we've talked about it a lot more on our YouTube channel, so I'm sorry if did we know it? We didn't even know it this time last week when we were podcasting, but we did have a last minute opportunity with the NFL, and we were just so excited because we really, truly are Titans fans. I can't say lifelong because they've not even been here my whole life. They came here in 2000, but truly, I mean, I was 8 then, so, lifelong for me, and definitely lifelong for you. We won a sweepstakes one time where we got to have a banner in the stadium the whole season, and we just really love the Titans. And so this was already an exciting opportunity for us. We get there, driven there by a man in a suit, by the way, which I'm like, I could have had an Uber code.
No, literally, this was like Uber Black, but like
I could have gotten myself there.
Just a parking pass would have done.
Truly, I know how to get there. But we had truly the most wonderful, wonderful experience. And we get to go on the freaking field pregame.
Yes. We get to go on the field. The only other time I've been on the field was when I ran my race. Same for you, which was many years ago.
Okay, and we don't have to talk about how long ago it was.
Well, it wasn't at the same time. We have never been on the field at the same time together.
Right.
And so going on the field while they were like literally throwing around the footballs was a little insane.
We got to watch them like run out to warm up. Like it was just so crazy. And then as we're like taking some shots, we look over and a guy that I know.
This is your NFL man. This is your NFL man.
Well, honestly, kind of, no. I'd prefer the other one to be.
Well, in this scenario, this is NFL man.
Right. I get that. So we look over and NFL man that she knows, because she doesn't even really know the other one because we don't talk about, we just don't talk about that. She knows this one. I'll tell you why in a second. We look over, he is literally coming out the tunnel signing autographs for people.
And we're like...
I said, it's time to go?
What are the chances? What are the chances?
She knows who this is because I kept my dating under wraps. She didn't even know that she knew that I had like stopped dating. So she she didn't understand the concept of like sometimes you just go out and have fun. Like, yeah, she didn't think that I was going out and like having fun with boys. She thought it was only girls, which it mostly was, but you know, sometimes there were boys involved. So she one time to me goes, "Mom, are you talking to anybody on the Titans?" And I said, "What? Obviously no. Like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. Because I wasn't technically talking to them." She goes, "Well, I know there's something going on with you and one of them." And I was like, "Why?" And she goes to our cabinet and she gets this cup down. And she says, "Because every time you get this cup, you laugh and you send a Snapchat to your friends."
Context clues are very important.
And it's funny because he was on the cup. And I didn't care. Like, it was just never a thing.
And, like, big face, big letters of his name. So, like, that one stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So, I was like, that's him.
Your kids always just know more than you think. Like, why would I ever think that she was paying attention to me, like, giggling about a cup and sending a funny picture to my friends? Like,
well, if 1 + 1 = 2, the cup means something. Like, the cup means something.
The cup means something,
and the cup did.
Right. So I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. Let's get on out of here and let's say that was a close call and call it what that was. It was not a close call.
It was not a close call. So, just keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So then we go and the Titan Stadium has this, they do call it an influencer suite. It's like presented by Canes, and so it's like catered in there. There's really cool like photo opportunities, and there's like both of the years that we went last year and we went this year, and there's always like other influencers in there or like guests of the stadium. It's just a really cool space. So we're in there, and the girls that we're working with are like, "Hey, we've got a content opportunity. We need y'all to come with us. We're going to go shoot some content with Jelly Roll." And we were both like,
what?
Okay. Because also, it's like fellow Tennessee girls. We're like, that's so
really cool.
I have to call my dad right now and tell him.
Literally, she was like, "Can I come up on the way?" And I was like, maybe let's just wait until we're at the stadium.
Yeah, so we walk into this suite, and I'm like, we're trying to be chill, obviously. We know that I have no chill when it comes to, like, people that are cool, because I just think that's so cool.
There's 2 levels of suites.
You're right.
And there's the suites, and then there's the really nice suites.
Yeah, the suites.
The suites. Like, we were on the main level, and then when we went to Jelly Roll suite,
there's like
it was
whole
like
other level of security.
Everyone was in suits, like it was insane.
Yeah.
You could smell whatever like food was in each one you passed.
It literally smelled like a bakery in there.
Like each one smelled different because they all had their whatever food they preferred. Like this was the nice sweets.
Yeah.
And so we go in there. And we're trying to act nonchalant because, like, Jelly Roll's in there. Hello. And, like, I'm talking to his daughter. Like, I'm just like, what is going on right now? We're having the best time.
She was awesome.
And we've avoided NFL Man this entire time. This entire time we've avoided. The one time we leave our suite. Where does he go? The same suite we're in.
I turned around and I make eye contact with her, and she has the biggest Cheshire cat grin on her face, like, ha ha ha, gotcha. I'm like,
no, it's just like, we didn't want.
What did you think seeing your mom in that situation?
I was like, well, first of all, we're in like.
Because it wouldn't have been even an awkward situation, but my daughter's there.
We're in a box. An actual box. It is about 12 feet by 12 feet.
Yeah, and we're also in, like, obviously, like, a celebrity box, so he's got to know, like, what is she doing here? Yeah.
So, I'm like, what's the plan of action here? Because we're all too close to each other.
There was no way for you not to say hi to everybody in this little space. Yeah.
But also, what was going through my mind is, like, you look so different from the last time he saw you.
2016?
I look so different.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like,
You're like, he wouldn't have a clue that you were an adult now at this point. Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, maybe if they just, like, glance at each other, he won't notice. But then if everyone's introducing ourselves and we say Jennica and Annica, like, obviously alarm bells, there's only 2 people that are, like, would be here.
Yeah.
So I was either like, we need to avoid or we need to leave. So we couldn't leave because we weren't done taking content. So I was like, what is she going to do? I was just like, I could see her mind racing. Like, there was a puzzle being put together.
I don't want to be rude, but I also, like, there's not really...
Y'all spent time together. Like, y'all had memories together.
That's a stretch. That is Stretch Armstrong right there. Like, that is...
But enough for what happened to happen. Like, so puzzles are being made in her head.
No, there was no... There wasn't time to make puzzles.
You were deciding what you were wanting to do.
Yeah.
So, I'm talking to the girls. I look over, and she's not there anymore. She's not by my side anymore.
Yeah.
She is walking up to him.
Well, I made eye contact, and at that point, you're just like... And we're 3 feet away from each other. So, like, what am I going to do? Just, like, spin around? So, I was like, all right, here we go. So, I went up to him.
And I was like...
Very chill. Like, I was just like, hey. And he was like, I know you. And I was like, yeah,
so
you do.
Enough for him to say, I know you.
Yeah.
Y'all spent time together.
Still a stretch.
But nonetheless. And then I was like, no chance I'm getting dragged into this. Because I'm her first. I'm like, oh, this is Annica. You remember her? She was so small last time you saw her. Oh my God, it's been so long.
Well, and I'm so proud of her, and she's so well spoken.
Yeah, no.
Like, do I ever think that necessarily a guy that I'm talking to, I would want you to have a conversation with? Probably
No.
not.
But I knew that I would be your first go-to in the lull of a conversation to say,
Yeah.
oh, here's Annica. And I wasn't letting myself get in that situation. I gotta put me first, because I wasn't gonna be able to keep a straight face on. So I turned the opposite way.
I point at her.
I hear her, and I said, whoop, that's not me. Like, no chance. So she starts walking back, and I'm like trying to smile, but I'm like, what?
She's mad
got
at me for
into
going
your-
rogue.
We had talked about if
Avoiding
something
it all
happened,
costs.
what would go down, and avoiding it at all costs, and then you walked up to him.
Well, I was
confused.
best case, once we realized that he was at that game, I was like, best case scenario, like, we see each other, like, I was like, it would be kind of cool for him to see me down on this field and be like, what the heck is she doing down here? But, like, also, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
it was fine. Away from afar would have been max fine.
Also, not running into each other would have been max
Also,
fine.
not running into each other would have been max fine.
So yeah,
it was fun.
that wasn't on my card for that day. Running into Jelly Roll and filming a YouTube short with him was not on my board for that day. And after that, we just head back to the suite.
Overall, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. Also, I will say, being able to sit in the back, because I don't really drink. I drive myself to Nashville when I go, and even though it's only a 20-minute little trek,
Being able to...
it was nice being able to sit in that and just kind of decompress after the game, like kind of get some photos to get. Like, it was just nice to be able to sit there, talk, and then arrive home and be home. It was just a wonderful, wonderful day, and we're truly so grateful to the NFL and to you guys for watching.
So fun. We can talk about something that was not so fun.
That was not so fun. Some of y'all didn't pass the vibe check on We Listen and We Don't Judge. No tea, no shade. But
little tea, little shade. Little tea, little shade. It was We Listen and We Don't Judge. All harmless things.
yeah.
And some of y'all were not very nice.
Well, I feel like it was... I did, and I will say this first and foremost, like, I welcome, encourage comments. I comment back and forth. I love having conversations. But if there's a comment that is, like, mean or that I know is going to, like, spark other people, like, arguing back, like, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I have words blocked. I keep a very just positive comment section.
Like,
because that's it's a positive space. So... as I'm going through the comments that first day at post, I start
Our
seeing,
last podcast.
Yes, our very last podcast, and I'm on multiple platforms. I'm looking through the comments, and because that's like part of the next day, I go through and I start replying to comments and start liking comments and making sure everything's okay. And also, I like to hear a feedback because a lot of times in that first set of listeners, it's the people that are like, "Hey, this audio issue," or "Hey, this," and sometimes I can catch those things and fix them for other people. So, I'm doing my comment work. And I'm noticing. You can tell with a comment when people are, let me just say this. I have a notes app in my, or notes section in my phone for podcast topics, for things we want to talk about, for things we want to bring up. So I just kind of got to writing in that. And I accidentally wrote an entire little letter. So I'm just going to read straight from there.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
kinda rogue.
Well, I think it's just, it
Can
says
I-
what I want to say. Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about a couple of mean comments that were directed towards me in the last podcast, but during our We Listen, We Don't Judge. And like, it's all things that don't really affect me because it's just, like, online chatter. Like, people say this about every single creator, no matter how big, how small. And I understand that definitely things that I said could come off not the best, but, like, not to the point where people could start being mean to me in the comments.
Or question your character.
Or question my character. And, like, we created this podcast knowing we wanted to be a little bit more open and, like, go into more details like this NFL story. Like, we would never say this on YouTube just because it's more just like vlogs, what we're doing in our life, whereas this is something we can sit down and talk about. And so we're doing this so we can go more in depth about our life and things that have happened to us. So I want to be able to talk freely without thinking, oh, that might, ooh.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I even had any of those moments in the last podcast because nothing I said was crazy enough for people to be like, wow, Annica does not seem like a good person.
Yeah.
And so I just don't feel like that was warranted, first of all. Second of all, I'll let her read her thing. But we're talking about a few comments that were left not so nice about me in the last podcast.
Yeah. And you're always, it's same for you guys, like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, like.
So that's what we're doing here. All right, she says, people kind of came for AJ last week, and we need to just get something straight here as we start this journey together. She is an 18-year-old girl sharing her life and learnings along the way. There's a difference to me in jumping to negative criticism and not being able to understand someone's POV. I should have just said point of view. Sorry, I had that abbreviated for me. Annica is not...
I also have no idea what this is.
Sorry. Annica is not a disrespectful child. She's not a disrespectful person. Period. We just want these episodes to be a little bit more in on our intimate mother-daughter conversations. So keep in mind that that is just what these are. Just mother-daughter conversations. We're both going to be learning. We're both going to be growing. And that's the beauty of it. I know when to stop her, and I know when she's going too far. Like, I know when to stop and, like, turn mom up because this is, hey. And I think that you know when I...
Yeah,
when that
it's not
switch
like
flips.
I've not always been like this. Like, I, at one point, was going through my terrible teenage phase that I'm sure we will go very in depth on one episode, and it would be very embarrassing to me. But at one point, I was a mean, disrespectful teenager, and I know what happens when I am like that, and I know the repercussions of my actions when I act like that. And so I don't do that anymore. Like, in any point, I'm not disrespectful anymore. I've grown out of my teenage rebellion, like, years like that, and so I don't do anything that would cause.
But I also, like, feel like as a mom, I do provide a safe enough space for you to be able to kind of, when you're in a bad mood, I sometimes get the brunt of it. And that's, like, a part of healthy relationships. That's also, like, with
it's
husband
also
and wife. Like,
whoever,
yeah, it's whoever you're living with. You kind of have to, like, I'll get there as well. Like last week, not getting the brownies, was it taking it a little too far? Yes, but it wasn't a real problem. We talked about it semi-fresh, we got over it, and we move on. We do recognize that we have a very, like, special circumstance, and while it's nice to be able to relate to each other in some things, we just might not be able to relate to a lot of other family aspects, and that has its positives and that has its negatives, but I'm still able to and willing to kind of solely focus on AJ, and I know that she is beyond grateful and appreciative for that. We really do just, like, lean on each other, and we know our relationship deserves constant and consistent work, so we always appreciate a call out. But we will not stand for name calling.
Yeah, no.
She had just been sick for 10 days. That's exhausting. She had just worked 3 days of Black Friday weekend. That's also exhausting. She's also in the frenzy of Vlogmas. That's also exhausting. And most importantly, she is literally 18 and learning life. I have worked very hard to make sure that she is only stressed about 18-year-old problems because when I was 18, I was quite literally looking through my couch cushions for enough change to get us 2 items off the dollar menu. So we want these conversations, like you just said, it was funny when you were saying this, I was like, I have that written down. We want these conversations to be actual conversation between us, so they aren't all going to be polished. All I ask is to maybe be a little bit more patient with the people you watch online. We do, like, on purpose make our life look fun and exciting because we do want to be a source of happiness and entertainment for you guys, but we are also 2 people navigating and healing from some pretty unfair chapters of life that we've never shared, which we will also be getting into on this very podcast.
If we listen and we don't judge.
If we listen and we don't judge. We talk about Lorelai and Rory a lot and the similarities, and there's so many seasons that you might be, like, frustrated with Lorelai or you might be frustrated with Rory, but the important thing is you're always kind of, like, cheering them on and, like, you know, trying to understand their point of view.
Just because you've never seen us have an intense fight doesn't mean we've never had an intense fight. So, like, we make vlogs fun for a reason. We don't want you to sit down and watch someone fight. That's not fun.
Yeah.
So this is just a little bit more of, like, not so polished, not so, like, perfect, more casual conversations. And I know it might be a little bit shocking at first, but, like, this is kind of what we want this space to be. So we just have to be understanding, and we have to not judge and not name call.
Yes.
Now, there are a couple things that I wanted to say personally about the We Listen and We Don't Judge saga. Let me go to my notes.
We were able to make it to episode 3 without drama. Not that this is drama, y'all. Like, we just did want to, like, address it, because if there's more than 2 comments about it, I think it is something that, you know, maybe not more than 2, maybe more than, like,
there was a lot. So
there was
let's
a
just
lot.
stop. First thing is, anything that I said I put on a credit card, it's my credit card. It is not my mom's credit card.
Yeah.
It is my credit card that I pay and I work my money for, and I have a job to pay for the credit card that I put my nails that I pay for on.
Okay, first of all,
just saying.
She did get, and I think it's also important because I don't think I really understood the importance of this at 18, but when she turned 18, I was like, you need to apply for just a low, like $200 to $500 credit card to start building good, like, credit.
It's something that since I was probably 16, I was like, okay, as soon as I turn 18, I'm going to apply for a credit card. I'm going to put gas on it so that I can get, like, I would say I'm fairly financially responsible.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, okay, if I want to stop and get a coffee on a day that maybe mom would also want a matcha, I could put it on there and it'll never know. Like, it's very, very harmless. And at the end of the day, like, I'm paying it, she's not paying it. And I think that might have been misconstrued, that I was putting it on her credit card without telling her. And then that's not. Yeah. It was mine.
But also, I have one card that she's like an authorized user on, that she has a card for, that she knows that if she needs gas or anything food-wise, she doesn't have to get permission. Like, we have.
But also, I probably haven't used that in a year and a half.
Yeah,
like,
you use it if I ask you to, like, pick up animal food.
Like, it's just, I pay for everything that I do and, like, that I want. Like, I pay for everything. Second of all, on the same note of me ordering lunches, when you pack my lunch, maybe once every 2 months, maybe that happens. I don't every shift eat out. Like, it's maybe one Saturday every 2 months when we all decide to order Waldo's and I want a salad. Like, it's not a constant of me doing that, like, ever. And if I have enough time to put it back in the fridge before it's bad, I do.
And anything that's, like, salvageable in there, you put back in.
And if we had a fridge examiner, like we said last time, it would go in there for me the next day. But it just, if it's bad, it's bad. And even if it's bad to the point where I'm like, I probably should have had this, blah, blah, blah. If there's, like, potatoes or something, I give it to tuna. Like, it's just, that
didn't bother me at all.
No, it's literally fine. Did any of them, like, actually bother you?
No, to be totally honest, I was most concerned with how it was going to affect you. And I was like...
No, did any of my listen and judge?
Oh.
No, right?
To me?
Yeah.
Also, people were impressed by the Amazon.
I wish we could post receipts proof timeline, because I'm talking, like, $13 Kindle books.
Yeah, that's not anything like crazy.
Maybe a vinyl shelf. I don't order from Amazon.
And also, period. I have, like, whatever, like, my Audible, whatever Amazon, like, monthly things that come out, if it's, like, $15, like, those are things I wouldn't have noticed. Obviously, if there was something for, like, $50 on there, like, I would maybe...
I probably haven't ordered anything from Amazon over $50 in a year. Like, it's just, I'm not really much of an Amazon person.
Yeah.
I'm much more of an in-person person.
Well, I was kind of nervous to talk to y'all about that, I'm not gonna lie. Did my chest break out a little bit?
Majorly. I wasn't, just because...
Well,
it was only a few people, and I feel like those people are off. Everyone else was like...
Sometimes people... This is what you've also got to understand. People are at just different points of life, and sometimes that can be frustrating, seeing somebody that does have either a close enough or the option to...
have lunch and order. Like, I understand it. Like,
it's so... First world problems.
Yes.
We totally understand that. Again, like, it's okay that these are her problems at 18.
Because this hasn't always been my problems. Like, I have gone through a lot more, and so now I'm at the point where I can get my nails done. I'm gonna get my nails done.
Yeah, Mom doesn't.
No.
Mom still does her nails at home because that's what I will always prefer. But, you know, it's okay. And I feel like that is part of life, is like when you get that first job and you are making money, you do kind of get to make a couple dumb decision. Not that nails are dumb. Because let me tell you, I used to work with a lady, and she told me she had four gorgeous children, and she said, listen, these nails come first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to every other week. I'm going to the nail salon, and I'm getting these nails done. And I said, hey, that's what, you got to choose your thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, if you're a nail girl, you get your nails done.
And you aren't, and I am, and that's what makes this world go around. So that's our little discussion on that.
Yes.
It was really only
understand.
the first, like, 12-ish hours.
Yeah.
And then no one was mean after that. And, like, literally the whole day I was at work, and I kept calling her, and I was like, hey, let's talk about this. Hey, let's talk. And she was just, like, so quick to get off the phone. And I was like, am I in trouble? Like,
well, no,
what's going
because
on?
I was just making sure. I didn't know if you were, like, reading the comments, too. Like, I just wanted to be able to be, like, hey, how
Yeah.
you feeling?
Well, then as soon as
I really only deleted, like, 2. And it was, like,
as-
specifically ones that were name-calling.
As soon as I walked in the door, he said, hey, we need to talk about something. And I was like, the door isn't even closed yet. And she was like, there's some people not being really nice about you. And I was like, it's okay. Like, it'll happen. Some people don't like me in person. Some people won't like me online. Some people love me in person. Some people will love me online. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the way life goes. And I did get upset about it for maybe 10 minutes. And then it was fine. Because it doesn't make the world end.
But she also did. You said, okay, but if
I-
enough people are saying this,
Yes.
like, this is stuff that I need to...
I definitely see where people are coming from.
Yes, of course. But just, always
Be
be
kind.
nice. And I'll if you're, say it in a kind way, like, I'm always down to have a conversation. Anything y'all want to talk about in the comments, like, we can go back and forth in a respectful way.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I feel like if there was an actual problem, we wouldn't be presenting it in this way.
Presenting?
Oh my god, here we go again. Presenting it online. If it was an actual problem, we would
Yeah.
be dealing with it offline.
In therapy. But y'all are our therapists, so...
So, sorry about it.
You're along for the ride. Okay, with all that said, we thought it would be really, really, really fun and iconic to talk about different mother-daughter duos that have been iconic throughout the years and the lessons they have taught us.
Okay.
Starting off with arguably one of the best, Miss Weasley and Jenny. First and foremost, for one of the most notable mother-daughter lines of all time. 3, 2, 1. Not... You don't know Miss Weasley's most iconic line?
So, what your what your most iconic line might not be my most iconic
No,
line?
it is. It's not mine. It's the.
Okay, why don't you say yours?
Not my daughter, you bitch.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What were you gonna say? Honestly, you're grounded from Weasley.
Don't joke about my child like that.
You don't know that that's probably one of the most out of all the Weasley family.
I understand that, but you think it's that iconic because you read it first and you have said multiple
Check
times.
any article online. One of the most iconic quotes in any movie ever. Not my daughter, you bitch. It's right there. I know it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I did not remember.
All right. Well, in Harry Potter, when Bellatrix Lestrange was about to Jenny, Miss Weasley comes, and Miss Weasley is like the mom you want. You can tell she's just busting her ass all the time for her kids. She loves her kids. She's making them homemade meals. She's doing everything she can to provide. And so when it comes down to it, and she has to put it on the line for her daughter, and she pulls out that "not my daughter, you bitch."
Pretty crazy.
It was a jaw-dropping moment. Reading it in the film, it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's pretty iconic. It's very protective.
Yes.
Very protective.
And very, like, what is expected. Have you ever seen that thing that was going viral a few months back about moms being asked, like, would you kill for your child? And, like, there's some were saying no. Like, no, we listen and we don't judge. I'm here to say it's on site. Like, when it comes down to, like, if somebody is ever...
That's crazy. That, like, you can have that motherly instinct like that.
Yeah, obviously.
I just don't think I could ever have that.
It's you behind me right here, somebody coming towards us, and they got their eyes on you, going for the jugular.
Actually, you're going for the eyes, actually.
Yeah, I'm
You're
going straight for the eye sockets, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it would be enough just to take their eyes out?
Well, then we can get the heck out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we don't even have to
Yeah.
kill them. We just have to take the eyes out.
Yeah, this is my plan of action. just to loop you guys in. Because, I mean, as a woman, it's crazy that, I mean, I think about this at least, what do you think, 4 times a day every time I walk outside the house?
I personally don't.
Well,
I
do.
probably do.
I'm always like, all right, how are we going to protect ourselves? So I learned one time that it's very easy to...
Which is kind of strange.
Pop, like you just dig the
my
eye.
God, that gives
and
me
so
chills.
you just kind of push your thumb as far into the eye socket as you can, and their eye will pop out. So that's what I'm personally going for.
What do you think
I'm
happens?
kicking, screaming, yelling, crying, probably laughing at some point. But that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I don't...
Maybe it's like a little neum in the and then go for the eyes.
I think that I would just start screaming.
Oh yeah,
screaming. And like mean things too. Like I'd start making them feel bad as a person. Like
you're going straight for the heart.
Yeah, I'm going for the heart personally. And
you're
then,
like, who didn't love you enough?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, someone didn't go to therapy this week. So yeah, that's what I'd personally be doing.
Yeah. Okay, so from Molly Weasley, we learn protection. Next up, this one is kind of rogue, and it's not technically correct, but sometimes a mother-daughter combination is whatever you make it.
Right.
And I'm going to have an honorable mention here, and I'm going to say Spencer and iCarly. I mean, Spencer and Carly from iCarly.
That one taught you a lot, I will say.
Because I was so young, I like definitely was still like enjoying some of the shows that she was starting to like when she was like,
who
6.
doesn't enjoy iCarly?
Literally iCarly, Victorious, like all the shows that Wizards of Waverly Place, like all of those shows were wonderful. And the thing is, like the actors in that, like Selena Gomez is my age, so I always had a fine time watching them.
Hannah Montana, like shut up,
y'all. Annica, that was the first show that like devastated her. I mean, Mama, she took off her wig. Like, I mean,
yeah. The morning I remember so vividly. That Sunday morning, I finished Hannah Montana for the first time, sitting on that couch by myself eating breakfast. Changed my trajectory. I can't make it through an episode. Trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
That changed the trajectory.
Trajectory. Just they got it.
Of my life.
Right.
Like seriously, one of the most insane scenes.
Specifically Spencer and Carly's relationship. Just the way he had her back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and as we've learned now amongst all of the later things that have come out through the years, like he actually on set genuinely did have those girls back.
Yeah.
Like he was just, I mean, you might not look at him and say he's a great role model per se, but he took the care of those.
I feel like y'all are very similar.
Oh.
In many ways.
What do you mean? So when I say he's not a good role model, and then you say you're very similar,
he is a great role model. He always gets business done. He always was there when he needed to be and did what he needed to do.
He
might have had a few mistakes here and there, like setting a Christmas tree on fire, and I feel like that's something relatively close to something you might accidentally do.
He didn't always do everything right, but everything always had the best intentions, and he always
everything
had Carly,
was always right.
And he always had Carly like top of mind, like before himself, before anybody else.
I feel like he was a great role model.
And I just love, like, I found so much comfort in watching them, because also Carly was kind of like, Spence, like, and I feel like Annica's kind of given that vibe since day one. We've always said, like, she gives that Rory, like, got her stuff together, whereas I'm like, Laura, over here, don't. It was the same kind of way with, like, Carly and Spencer, but there was always that dynamic of fun, and I just loved their relationship.
Yeah, that's a good
all right.
mission.
Next, let's see. Okay, so wait, what did we learn from them? To maybe not take things so seriously all the time?
Yeah, I'd say so. I could work on that one.
I don't need to.
No.
That's what I've definitely learned that years ago from Spencer.
Yeah, maybe I should rewatch the show.
Oh, this one I love. This one almost like makes me cry if I think about it too much, because this movie means so much.
I'm already in a crying mood, so let's...
Are you?
Yeah.
I saw your eyes kind of water up earlier, and I was like, "Ooh, we won't address it." So just keep moving.
I think I know what it is.
Oh my God! There they go. She's crying.
I think I know what it is. Every time I randomly cry on vlogs or on the podcast, it's because I just finished my book. And
she finished her book this morning.
I have to stop reading.
She came in my room this morning at like 8 a.m. clapping, "Give it up for Colleen Hoover, everybody." I was
Yeah.
like, good morning.
I think it's the book.
The book puts you just in a really. That's good. That's how books are supposed to make you feel. They're supposed to make you feel really. No. It needs to. This needs to be happening. Trust me. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna blame it on the book. Same thing with the closet scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is. Maybe I just needed a little bit of twinkle coming out of my eyes, and now I'm good.
Okay. Well, maybe I won't cry during this, but
Oh my god.
my next one is the wonderful, the beautiful, the gorgeous Miss Honey and Matilda.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come
I'm
on.
not proud of this.
You said I won't cry during this?
Not the slightest.
Meanwhile, this literally means so much to me.
Yeah,
I just remember, like,
That's fair.
watching Matilda as a child and thinking, because I, like, walked to the library also, and it was such a safe space, and, like, I found so much of,
You were that.
movie. I loved that movie, and, oh my god, I am gonna cry.
Oh my god, no, it's literally.
I just
She's
feel like,
crying. She's crying.
Oh my god.
So have we made it through 0 podcast episodes without crying?
I just feel like I would have, like, benefited so much from a Miss Honey. I feel like I got to become a Miss Honey, you know? Ooh.
Kind of. I didn't really watch that movie that much.
Yeah, I know. We really don't ever watch it because I genuinely
She won't make
can't
it
handle
past.
it. Like,
No, she won't make
once
it
they get
past.
to that final scene and they're in the yard together, I mean, it's
And
a
she's
faucet.
she's not enjoying the movie because that's all she's thinking about is
Yeah.
that scene coming up.
Oh, my best friend in college, Kathleen, shout out to Kathleen if you're listening to this, but she used to always be like, we'd wake up on the most glorious day and she'd be like, let's watch something that makes us cry. And I'm like, no, we'd be having the best day. And she's like, let's go home and watch The Notebook. And I'm like,
I've never seen The Notebook. Or Bambi.
this is what definitely don't watch Bambi or The Fox and the Hound.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Anyway,
I was very guarded. I will say that's one thing that both my parents did very well was guard me from movies that would make me cry.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was literally banned from watching Bambi.
You weren't guarded, for sure. But for
I was
movies
told-
that I knew were going to
Yeah.
be, because I don't know what they were testing out with us millennials, but the storylines of some of these movies
Criminal.
were, let's say it, fucked up.
I don't know what happens in Bambi, but I feel like that falls
it's
into that.
horrific. Fox and the Hound, horrific. I mean, I remember literally being a 3-year-old sitting in front of the screen like, how could this be happening?
Yeah, probably not the best.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, you didn't really watch. No, but Matilda, if you've never seen Matilda, you better watch it right now. Stop what you're doing. Go watch it. It is just, Miss Honey's just great, and I just love her, and that's who I aspire to be. Miss Honey.
Yeah. Whatever her name is, what's the teacher's name?
Miss Trunchbull.
She just pisses me off the whole movie. The whole movie pisses me off. So,
Yeah.
I can't get past that.
The
Everything's...
dad pisses me off.
Yeah, so does the brother.
The brother, the mom.
Like, they all pretty much do except for Matilda and Miss Honey. Yeah,
no,
it's
her friends. It's a wonderful.
a wonderful movie.
It's a wonderful movie. We
Is
should
it a
watch
book?
it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
We've gotten
it's a book.
17 of
Yeah,
the...
and so then when I realized that it was a book in school, I was like, oh my god! And then I read every single book by that author after that. Like I was.
Oh.
He also wrote the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Fun.
Yep. All right. So next up, oh my gosh, let me actually make sure that these tears are okay. Whoa! I genuinely didn't think I was gonna cry this episode.
Same.
I guess talking about
It was
mothers
the
and daughters,
book.
like it was.
Mine was the book.
What's my excuse? Mine's Miss Honey, and honestly, she's the teacher, so it wraps back to books always.
Always. And there's a book. Matilda is a book.
And Matilda is a book, and she loves books.
What about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory now that I can't stop thinking about it? Do you like that movie or no?
Which one? There's 100,
And they all somehow run together.
and they all are exactly the same,
Yeah.
too, but so different.
I don't think I've seen the one with
We've not seen the one with
Timothy Chalamet.
Who was in Nashville this week? Hey,
I
I do want to see that.
Should we watch it tonight?
We could.
I could
I'd be
see
down
that
with that.
face on your...
No, I would absolutely be down for that.
The one before that with... He's also iconic. What's his name?
I think that I might have only seen the one from like the whatever was
No,
in my
hold on.
time.
Hold on. Let's do our research
And
here.
we always gotta get the Google out.
Johnny Depp, duh.
I definitely never saw the one with Johnny Depp in it.
That's the only one I've ever seen.
What?
It's the only one I've ever seen.
What?
Yeah.
Honestly, the
And
one
it's
that
pretty great.
I don't think I've ever even seen that one. I'd actually know I've never seen that one.
Or maybe his Timothy.
No, that Johnny is, I'm pretty sure Johnny, like I know him. Johnny, he did work on that film at that one point, didn't he?
No, he was the main guy, I'm pretty sure.
No, I remember the press for it.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's Bellatrix Lestrange.
She's also in it.
What is she doing in it?
Wait,
which one we gotta watch?
Which one is she in? Wait.
Bellatrix, what are you doing here?
Okay, well, we gotta do that at some point.
By next week, we will have watched both Charlie and the Chocolate Factories, and we will come back. Wonka's one of them.
There's 3 now.
Well, there's the one from my time.
God.
I wasn't gonna make you watch that one, but that's the OG. But I think there's even one before that.
Like, how many of these movies are there?
I don't
How
know.
many
but
are
how many are there?
36.
Counted them myself. I feel like same with like Wizard of Oz and Wicked and stuff. Like once it's that like iconic
don't even
of a
get me started on that. Please, someone tell me where to learn all the information. I understand. I understand I can watch TikToks to learn the storyline, but those people that are telling the TikToks, where did they learn the storyline? I want to know. Like, you can't wrap up Harry Potter in one TikTok. You can, but you're not going to know the info. You're not going to know the deep stuff.
Obviously. That's what you watch the films for.
I know, but where did they watch to get to this point? Just Wizard of Oz? No.
Well, they've probably also seen Wicked on Broadway. Like how we saw Moulin Rouge.
I just don't get it.
It's okay.
The movie world is so complex.
It is. And I feel like we both try.
If there's one thing I respect the arts of movie
it's
making.
movies. And so, I know we will, at this point, next week, we will have watched
Wonka and Chocolate Factory with Timothy?
Yes. No. And I've never seen the Johnny Depp one. But you've also never seen the...
Wonka is Johnny Depp.
No, Wonka is Timothy Chalamet.
So what's the difference between Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Wonka?
Wonka is the backstory of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Here we go again with backstories.
Because Charlie is the little boy that went to the chocolate factory. Wonka is the
Wonka.
factor. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So we'll do that. We'll do that.
Next up. This is one that you have a little bit. You've seen this movie more than I have, but they could not be talked about because this is. We can't all do like rainbows and butterflies, moms and daughters.
Oh.
We have to do some that like worked hard to get to where they are.
And I've seen this more than you?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you...
Merida and her mom, the queen. Merida from Brave.
Oh,
and her mom, they had a very intense relationship. She maybe even turned her mom into a bear at one point.
Yeah. I need to just make sure I have this movie correct in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at like a dinner or something, and the mom...
Well, the mom wants her to, because the mom is the queen, and she wants Merida to be the next, like, she wants her to marry this prince, she wants her to be, like, proper, and she wants to be, like, doing archery and stuff. But she eats, like, a cake or
something that makes her turn into a bear, right?
Yeah.
And then
but Merida does that. Am I saying her name right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I think I'm there. And she goes to the wooden shack,
and she's like, Mom, you just need to trust me. And then the mom's like, no, you just need to trust me. And then they're having, they worked really hard to get where they were, but they both learned the importance of, like, being able to trust each other with things going on. And sometimes not knowing everything is not bad.
Yes.
But you do ultimately have to.
Yeah, I'd say that's what they probably taught me is you don't always know everything that's going on.
Yeah, behind the back
trust.
Yeah. But then also, like, sometimes your kids do know what's best for them. Well,
like the cup.
I was going to say what's best for them.
Yeah, like the cup. We know what's going on.
You know what's going on. And so sometimes we have to give a little bit more trust to them, too. So, trust.
Trust from them.
Okay, I don't know that you've seen this movie. And honestly, I think I've only seen it all the way through, like, once. So, but I had to mention them as well because it's literally in the name. Donna and Sophie from Mamma Mia. Have you ever seen Mamma Mia?
No.
You actually, I think, would like it. It is a lot of singing.
I think I would be interested in the Broadway. Is it on Broadway?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
I think I would be interested in that.
Yeah. So the storyline is she is...
I know the storyline.
Okay.
I've just never seen it play out. But I know the storyline. Because
Right.
it's too iconic not to, you know?
So I feel like one of the biggest lessons of that story that she comes out knowing that, like, okay, A, I probably should have trusted my mom, but also like my mom did really have the best interest, and you can build your own family.
Yeah.
You can make the family that you need. There is a very iconic photo of them where she's like sitting in her mom's lap and her mom's painting her toenails, and that always does remind me of us. So I couldn't not mention them, but we do need a refresh on that movie for sure.
Definitely.
Mamma mia.
How many are there?
How many are there?
That's
It's impossible to say that without saying
yeah,
that, by
I
the
feel like
way.
we need to now. We've said it twice this episode. So, speaking of Harry Potter and the arts from the movie arts, in the first Harry Potter, is it the first one? No. Yeah, because he's getting his presents. When he says 36 hundred of myself.
Oh, yeah, that.
Dudley's getting his presents, and he says, "How many are there?" His dad goes, 36, counted them myself. So whenever you say, like, how many are there,
You can't not say it. How many are
36,
there?
counted them myself.
We love it. Okay. Next up, there's lots of lessons in this mother-daughter duo.
God.
There's lots of lessons. Regina George and her lovely mother. Now, one thing we can learn
I'm not like regular moms. I'm a cool mom.
is that. Another thing we can learn is sometimes all your child needs is undying love and support.
Yep.
Just support.
Yep.
But then I think we can also learn that sometimes parents don't always do exactly best or know exactly the right. Like maybe having your 7-year-old dance with their shirt off in the living room's not the best. Or, doing some of the things that she did in front of the kid. We can learn from this mom. But also, front row with a video camera. Knowing the moves. Supporting her girl.
Yep.
Down.
Yep.
She said, "Honeys,
let's do this.
in the club,
We all fam."
I mean, what a mom, what undying support. But also,
You can't
moms
do
are
some of
just
those
girls
things.
at the end of the day, too.
Some of those things were not so great, and some of those things were like, wow, that was great. So you can really learn what to do and what not to do from her.
Yes. Okay. Lastly,
Oh, I know what this one is.
who are we going to talk about?
Rory and Lorla.
Obviously. I just feel like
Here
they
she
are
is.
the most iconic mother-daughter duo.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I want to circle back, actually. Sorry, can we
Period.
back to Regina George and her mom?
Yes.
Because
We can always talk about them.
I feel like in the same kind of area of learning what not to do and also supporting, a great, and you probably won't get this as much as I will, but a great one for that would be the Vanderwoodsons from Gossip Girl.
Oh,
Lily
yeah?
Vanderwoodson and Serena Vanderwoodson.
Mm-hmm.
Lily was not there, and you can really see how that affected the children.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a great relationship to show what happens when you are there and what happens when you aren't there.
Yeah.
So that's a really iconic one that is really rocky until the mom really listens to Serena and Eric and is like, this is what we need. And until she can give them that, their relationship doesn't really blossom until she puts them first.
It is a learning curve when your kids do become an age where they can look at you and tell you, this is what I need from you. And it's not something that you're used to, or it is something that you do have to kind of adjust for. But I mean, that's what it is all about. I feel like especially once your kids are at an age where you know that you have raised them good enough to be able to trust them. Like if they are providing feedback from you, if you can't take it from your kids, like who are you going to take it from?
So that was my little backtrack. But
yeah, you have any other ones?
No, I don't think there's any other ones that I need to bring up.
Mm-hmm. Well, with Rory and Lorelai, I feel like they are truly constantly learning from each other.
Yes.
They are constantly learning from each other. And I feel like what we talked about at the beginning, like there are so many seasons where you're just like so frustrated with one of them, or like the times that when Rory does the unspeakable thing that she does. I mean, I think I got up and I turned the TV off and I walked away because I was like, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. I'm going to fight her. Mm-hmm. And so you have to reel it in and think, okay, let's try to understand where she's coming from. She's wrong in this situation.
You should
what?
Say what it is so that anyone who hasn't watched.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it for somebody that's not. There are some people that are still discovering Gilmore Girls, and that is a shocking plot line.
Yeah. Oh, it's right. If I would have known that, I would have.
Oh yeah, I mean I would have skipped the season. When is it? It's after Rory goes to Yale and she comes back. I wish I knew exactly, because I could tell you to just skip it.
Maybe.
Did it even do anything for her character development?
No.
It was so unnecessary.
Whoever wrote that line,
I could still... Not even the line. There's just... She comes home and she thinks something that is still is hers, that is quite definitely not hers anymore, and she makes a grave mistake. So that's all we'll say. But, you know, it's just, you do like really get to see them, and then you get to see them kind of going to their friends and talking about their moms. And there's been so many times that, like, even you and I will both call Maddie. Like, I'll get off the phone with Maddie after just crying to her about our fight, and then she'll call Maddie and she'll be crying. And so Maddie has to kind of, so like Maddie's been our Suki. So it's just fun to like allow or see the other parts of the learnings.
But they just, I mean, I feel like this kind of wraps around to the beginning of the episode when we said, like, we want this to be more casual conversations and showing every aspect of our relationship. It's named Spillmore Girls because we are so alike with the Gilmore Girls, and the Gilmore Girls truly shows every part of a mother-daughter relationship. So it's just so, like, you can see every part of a relationship in that series. Like, every good part, every bad part, every part that might be uncomfortable, all the ups, all the, like, it shows so much.
Oh, and there's times where I'm like fuming with Lorelai too, and I'm like, there's time where I'm fuming with myself. I get it, but I guess everybody's just like allowed the opportunity to write their own story how they want to, and sometimes
she is.
Sometimes Lorelai's story went a little rogue.
Yeah. Max Medina could have been left out.
I liked Max Medina.
But he was her teacher at the end of the day.
He was her teacher at the end of the day.
At that point, you gotta say, do I need to date him, or does it need to be her teacher? I would have said,
if we really feel a huge spark here in 3 years or 2 years when my daughter's gone from this school, like, we'll hit it up then. But I don't think, and I also, I just wouldn't have, I knew that anything I did was going to be fuel to the fire at your school too.
Yeah,
I feel like
my school was not the
environment to do that. But you saw that kind of with Lorelai too. It's like as soon as people find out that it was a young mom, it's like that's what they get to talk about.
Yeah, so... Yeah, my school would not have handled that very well at all.
Could you imagine if Annica's mom would have been dating
Also,
a teacher?
there's just, like, no young teachers at my school, so, like, I don't think there was one that was not married, like, so.
Well, what do you think is one thing that you've learned from watching the Gilmore Girls, if you had to take away just one thing?
Oh, I can't. There's
well, just
many.
as a mother-daughter duo. Like, as we were given these one-liners, like respect and things that we learned from others, protection, maybe, like, loyalty, because at the end of the fucking day, those girls had each other's back.
I don't know. I really don't. There's too much.
Like a bond. Unbreakable bond. No, I feel like that.
Like, there's just simply too much.
Yeah.
We weren't as connected with the other ones as we are this one. So
yeah, this one's obviously
that's like
a little
asking
bit.
us to define us in one word. Like,
yeah. I know, I feel
what
like
would you?
even to define us in one word?
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh my god.
We're so fun. Like, what people could learn from our relationship?
Yeah.
Perseverance. Keep on keeping on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try not to take that personal.
That is not, you can't, I mean, there's no way to take that badly. Perseverance is a good thing. You want to have perseverance.
But you don't want to have to necessarily go through you don't want your favorite relationship to have perseverance. If it has to have perseverance,
I don't think I'm understanding the question like you're asking it.
Like, one word to define a relationship.
What would it be for you, Miss Dictionary? Exactly.
I'd say trust.
Trust?
Yeah. We have to trust each other a lot daily. On little and big
but
things.
we just don't, but it's not, I don't think we have to. We just do. Like, it's not something we've, like, had to work hard to do. We really have always kind of just...
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Trusted.
I don't know. See, we can't. Same with Gilmore Girls. Like, we cannot just define it in one word.
One word. I get that. Okay, well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, we just had to take a quick pause because I get something in my eye. How many times a day would you say?
10.
10 times a day. I do have...
And it ruins her mood.
No, it doesn't ruin my mood. It's just like I completely zone out.
Until, like, whatever mood you are in, it is completely on hold and redirected to your eye.
Well, I have really, really dry eyes. Like, I have dry eye syndrome. And so every time I say that, I have to immediately say it's literally not as serious as it sounds, okay? Because it just sounds... I just have dry... Like,
goofy.
Well, okay, if you want to see my eye under a microscope... If you want to see my eye under a microscope, every single time... Every time
My
I
life
blink,
under a microscope is what this title needs to be.
every time I blink back, cells pull off my eyes because there's not enough moisture there holding it in. So,
And her favorite eye drops are $20.
If anything is floating around in the air anywhere near me, it zooms and gets onto my eye and is stuck there. And then once I'm blinking, because there's no other moisture back there, it's just scraping against my pupil. So,
Right. I understand.
we listen and we don't judge. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Gilmore Girls. Compliment someone.
And we will spill more next Thursday.
Bye.
Love ya.